Can you tell us why did you start writing?
Yeah.
A person who's bad in school,
Horrible.
didn't like studying,
And worse in English. I was terrible in English
to
class.
write 6 books, best-selling.
Yeah.
So why did you decide to do that? And did you achieve the goal?
Yes. So in 2005 or 2006, I had a speaker bureau that was going to sign me to start speaking. And they said, if you had a book, we could charge more. Mm-hmm. And I said, well, I'm only charging $3,000 to $5,000 now. What could you get for me? And they said, we could get you $10,000, easy. So I did the math and I was like, wow, if you can get me $10,000 to write a book, I can probably get a book done in the next 6 months. So that was the purpose, was doing. And then I figured out a way to write books that was very efficient, that was me getting all of my ideas out. And I also didn't want to write crappy books.
Yeah.
Like they had to be perfectly written. They had to have good grammar, good spelling, good punctuation, no typos. They had to be filled with really good content, no fluff. So I worked really hard at that.
You don't write.
No,
you speak,
I speak
right?
them.
Yeah.
Did you read that or hear that somewhere?
Of course I do.
Yeah. So my
research.
my first book I did back in 2009, and I used something called Dragon Dictation back in the day, which would be like Siri today. But I put a Bluetooth headset on. I walked around my home. I had the table of contents for my book, and then for each chapter, I had 5 to 7 bullet points I wanted to cover in each chapter. So chapter 1, 5 to 7 points. So I walked around looking at those 5 points on a Post-it note, and just talked to myself, just rambling stuff off the top of my head as much as I could think about with those 5 points. Then I got an editor to take all those rough notes that I'd transcribed, and they formed it into a working document of a chapter. Then I sent each chapter one at a time to about 3 to 4 different entrepreneurs, and I said, what's confusing? What am I missing? What should I add color to? What sucks? And they gave me all their ideas, and then I walked around and talked about those. The editor pulled those in. That was the starting point for the book. And that's kind of how I wrote each of my books since.
Wow.